There's a guy who's worked in this company a long time, eh?
Yeah, the Brawler.
The floor is yours. It's a long tenure with that company.
Is he still with them? No,
Probably.
Is he?
He was for a long, in some capacity, yeah. What can you tell us about Steve?
You know, I never witnessed anything physically, but I heard a lot of stuff.
It's all about subtleties.
Well, you know, I
like
heard
you said, the subtleties.
What do you really know? I never witnessed anything with Steve, and he was a good guy to me. He was always nice to me. He took care of me, and you know. But some of the things that I heard about, you know, through the years about Steve and the office and things, you know, it makes you wonder, you know, really, wow, you know, what's really going on? What's really going on? But he was a good guy. You know, he worked hard. He put guys over. He did his job. He did what he had to do, and you know, and God bless him. Well, I still work with Luke a lot. You know, Butch had his ankles from rugby, both his ankles so screwed up they wound up having to like take his feet off and reattach his feet. He couldn't even walk, and he's crippled up. To my knowledge now, he went back to New Zealand. He's back in New Zealand, and he's still pretty crippled up. But Luke has been living in Puerto Rico, was working down there and running one of the offices down there.
You remember when they came into WWE in '89? They were very violent, you know, when they worked Puerto Rico and the other territories. Very violent. And here we have a kind of a
they were the sheep herders first,
correct,
or something? Right.
Correct. But now we got a kid-friendly product. Did you think that would mix well? When they ended up making it work.
They did. I mean, you know, yeah. I mean, those guys were the original hardcore of wrestling. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, for real though. I mean, those guys were tougher than rawhide, than nails. I mean, you could beat on them all day long, and those guys just kept going and going and going. It was incredible that they lasted, and then that they made the transition, and it was all good with the thing, the boom, the thing. I mean, the people loved it. It was about finding your niche, you know, with the people. And some guys could adapt. And think, you know, I had the strut, the scissors, that thing. I mean, how violent was I out there, you know, with all that? That was major violence, but you're able to take it down to the level with the family, to a family level, do you think? And, you know, there wasn't blood and guts, and the haircut thing, and went to a level of the people they never imagined. They never thought. Whoever thought that somebody could go out to the ring every time and cut somebody's hair and carry hedge clippers into the ring?
Or that Butch and Luke would be licking little kids' heads on the way to the ring.
You know, crazy. You know.
Do you think they were better as heels or baby faces?
They weren't good as anything. no, the Rougeau.
Did you get along with me?
I'm not a big Rougeau fan. I do. No, you know, and Jock actually called me a while back, and I was supposed to do some shows and stuff, and then it all caved in. Nothing ever happened.
The French-Canadian crew, kind of a strong bond. They all kind of stick together and kind of look out for each other. True?
Yeah. Yeah. Rick Martel is a guy who was a longtime friend from the back to the '70s for me, and you know, and Rick was always a good guy, and he still lives in Quebec now to this day, and he's a good guy, and he always took care of us, and he was part of that Canadian connection, but he always kind of kept himself a little bit separate. I mean, you had Dino Bravo, who was a huge, you know, Canadian, great wrestler, never had that real personality. to really appeal to the masses. You know, he just, you know, and then he wound up getting involved with organized crime up there, and they shot him dead sitting in his chair in his house with his family in the house.
That was, you know, that whole. Then you had the whole dynamite thing happen, right, with those guys. And
Dynamite Kid, you know, another a guy that I knew from originally from Japan. I met him in, you know, he was working in Japan. He was a great kid, a great worker. And then WWE brought him in. They put him with Davey Boy, who was, you know, who was a great kid. And then, you know, and Greg and I, and they pinned him on us. And we were the odd couple for sure. I mean, they put me and Greg together, and nobody said, them two, you know, how you gonna, you know, them two will never fucking be a tag team, you know, blah, blah, blah. And we wound up being opposite track. We were so completely different that it worked.
Yeah. Why would one be barred from wrestling against the Ultimate Warrior?
Oh, well, because I was supposed to beat him. Yeah.
So what do you mean? So
well, he was going to lose, so they had to cook up some excuse to bar me.
They were going to put you over the Warrior?
Yeah, or something, yeah. Well, you know, I was supposed to take the belt from him. I was supposed to beat him in the SummerSlam. And I was supposed to get the belt, and then the whole thing with Ron Bass came about because I was supposed to be wrestling Honky Tonk Man and get the belt, and then they had to switch everything. The whole pay-per-views had to switch everything around.
Was Warrior difficult?
Because Warrior threw a temper tantrum. It was going to quit. I guess he was Vince's boy at that time, and threw a tantrum and was going to quit, and it just threw a monkey wrench in the whole thing.
So they would do stuff like this. They would tell you, "Oh, the commission said you can't work tonight," so that you didn't get in.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I had no idea that was coming.
Ban Mr. Bludclot. Well, no, you can't ban him. I'm just not going to read it. Now you can ban Mr. Bludclot. If I see more trolling, it's going to go up to 5 years.